All right, guys, before we get started, I'm going to remind you to show your parents this letter. Get them to sign down there. If you guys lost this letter, I'll post a link to a copy of it online that you guys can print out at home. Okay, so we're going to kind of continue what we were talking about today in class with integer addition. So get a new sheet of paper. At the very top, we're going to do some notes of what we talked about today, kind of summarize what we did. So integer addition notes. And we're going to do a style called Cornell Notes today. In Cornell Notes, you make a line on the top, and then this red line on your notebook, you kind of make a line going down. So then our topic goes over here, and then we kind of write what it's about over here on the other side. And on this left side, we're going to do some example problems. So my first one I'm going to do is -6 plus 7. What we need to do every time we have these problems is we need to draw it out. Our objective here is to draw out all of these math problems, to kind of model it with pictures. So we're going to use the number tiles like we did today. And I'm going to draw 6 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I'm going to draw 7 positives. And then we are going to look for our zero pairs. If you don't remember what a zero pair is, watch the video before this one or look back in your notebook. A zero pair is a negative and a positive. So I have a negative and a positive here, so that's going to make 0. I'm just going to cross out all of my zero pairs, and I'm left with positive 1. So -6 plus 7 is positive 1. We're going to kind of write it out like we did today in class. I'm going to write I started with 6 negative and 7 positive. I had 6 zero pairs and 1 positive remaining. So then we kind of write an equation. Our equation was -6 plus 7 equals 1. Okay? So that's an example of a negative plus a positive. We're going to do an example next of a negative plus a negative. So we're going to do -3 plus -4. So again, I'm going to draw this out all the same. So here's -3 plus, I'm going to draw 4 more negatives. So -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so here, again, we're going to look for zero pairs. Do we have any negatives and positives? No, we do not. So I'm just going to write, I started with 3 negatives and 4 negatives. I had no zero pairs. And I have how many altogether? You just count them. And 7 negative remaining. Okay? So then our answer is going to be -3 plus -4 equals -7. So if I have nothing but positives, I count them up and I have a positive answer. If I have nothing but negatives, I count them up and I have nothing but negatives. So let's talk about our rules here. We talked about this in class today, is that the number with the larger absolute value keeps it positive or negative. So for an example, we're going to look at class tomorrow, -16 plus 32. If I were to imagine, if I drew 16 negatives and 32 positives, I would have more positive than negative. So for this one, my answer will be positive because there's going to be more positives. Answer is positive. And then to solve this, I would look for my zero pairs, right? I would do a positive and a negative, and I would take them away. The process, when I take something away, that's called subtraction. So I'm really going to subtract these two numbers. 32 minus 16 is going to be 16, and my answer is positive. All right, those are all the notes for today. Be sure to complete the WISC online. Thank you.